reading out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark. Sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark.
It is the Friday edition of the program. I hope folks are doing well wherever you might be. Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room and on our professional door text line, 391-0788. And as you see, just horrible news came across yesterday, later in the afternoon, that we lost Kyle Busch, who was one of the biggest stars in the current NASCAR circuit. had a massive following, and we don't have any details about all of the things that surrounded this, but I'm sure that will come out. It happened pretty quickly, apparently. It was Wednesday night. He, at least what I read in one piece, and again, none of this is necessarily, we can't look at it as being 100% factual because we don't know yet. And right now, the why doesn't really matter. It's just the what. He leaves behind a beautiful wife and 2 children, and his legacy is cemented forever in the sport. And it's just a horrible, horrible bit of news we got yesterday. They were playing some sound from last weekend in the race, and he had radio in late that I'm going to need a shot. I'm having some trouble with my sinuses. They're really bothering me. There's speculation he may have developed a severe case of pneumonia after that race throughout the week. And they tried to get everything rectified yesterday, but apparently his condition continued to worsen and worsen. And we got the horrible news from NASCAR. NASCAR.com was the first official word that came out that Kyle Busch passed away at the age of 41. Just unspeakable tragedy. It really is. And a reminder that we just don't have long, do we? We like to think that we do. We like to think that we are in control. We like to think that we have everything kind of measured out, but we don't. We don't. Terrible news. So we'll find out exactly what happened here soon. There'll be an autopsy for the official report. And, of course, you go into Memorial Day weekend, which is traditionally a massive racing spectacle. And this is going to put, a dark cloud over everything, especially with NASCAR. But horrible stuff yesterday. And just thoughts and prayers to his family. So even someone who I didn't, watch current NASCAR, I always watched when I knew Kyle Busch was in the running. He was one of the old school guys. He was always brash. His nickname was Rowdy. Great driver, kind of a throwback a little bit. Was very honest whenever asked about anything about the sport. Otherwise, very refreshing. He was a personality that you could really, in my opinion, you could root for, and he leaves behind a massive fan base, and I think a legacy that, on all this stuff they're going to talk about racing wise. He's a 2-time champion. I think he won over 60 races. All that's a given, how great he was behind the wheel. He generally seemed like a really good dude. And when you're candid and honest in today's world, and you're not just walking around 24/7 just full of shit, it's a very refreshing thing. So rest in peace, Kyle. And I know there are a lot of people who watch this program, who follow us here, big NASCAR fans, big fans of his. And so thinking about all you folks as well. So just terrible. And I listened to the audio, I'm not trying to be morbid, but they did play it. It was just him in the car and his audio. Yeah, T-Bird, I listened to that. And you could tell he was a little concerned. You could hear the concern. In my opinion, you could hear kind of some concern in his voice. He's sitting there in this race, right? And what is he saying? Hey, I need a shot. What is he concerned about? It was such a big deal, He, I think he had a sense something was wrong. So just horrible news. So we'll find out. I do not know, Etta. I do not know. That's a good question. That's been linked to a lot of things. Who knows? We'll find out here soon with the autopsy. I hope people understand, but I've decided that I will not be live on Memorial Day. I'm going to take that day. I'm going to see about, and I will let everybody know through all of our social media. I believe I can reschedule an older show and plug it into the time. I will let everybody know. Okay. If you can check us out on the Facebook page, on the Instagram page, and I'll put it up on the X account too, my X account. But right now, the plan is to not do a show on Monday, and I hope people understand. Yeah, I knew. I think I remember you telling me that, Rodney. So I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for all these fans too. I mean, that if you have one driver and that's your guy, I mean that. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So yeah, good advice, Prometheus. Yep, good advice. Today on the program, Will Stewart reached out a little while ago. He's under the weather today. He got up. He actually started feeling ill last night. And so Will is not going to be able to join us today as scheduled. He'll be back next week. He sends his apologies. I said, don't worry about it, brother. You feel bad. You're just sick. Don't worry about it. And Mike Ashley and Jen still scheduled to join us today. But, you know, we have a lot of fun here. We have a lot of good stuff. And we talk about other things other than sports, most of the time in a jovial setting. But this is just kind of, it has really, really kind of brought a damper on, you know, the emotions here today with Kyle Busch. He was in his 22nd full season, by the way. He won titles in 15 and 19. I'm just going to read off this. I want to make sure I don't get it wrong. 63 races. I thought it was around 60. He's ninth on the all-time list of wins. 102 victories overall, if you include the other two, all the other series wins. He was big in the Craftsman Truck Series, had a lot of respect for that, had 69 wins, as a matter of fact. He was dominant in the Truck Series. This shows you how talented he was. He could move from the stock car to the trucks. Good statement by Richard Childress Racing yesterday, talking about how the NASCAR family is heartbroken. So, you know, now, you know, it's only natural. I don't think people should feel, you always want to know why exactly. I think we've got a decent sense as to why. It sounds like it was just I don't want to say freak. It was just a very rare health condition. Yeah, I know. I saw that, Prometheus, and I watched the interview. You know, they were showing that, and he's just grateful. He was just grateful to have the opportunity to still run the trucks and do what he did. Yeah, and you look fine. You just don't know. You just don't know. So yeah, he was a bit polarizing, like I said, but that's okay. You know what? That's okay. Like I said, you don't mind someone if they're polarizing and they're just being who they are. I think that's a good thing. It's when you get to put on trying to fit a certain criteria and so forth, just to be a certain way. When that happens is when it's very insincere. He was very, very sincere, very, very sincere. No doubt about it. And had his little battles on the track with certain guys, just like, you know, all of them do. But just bad, just sad, bad, and may he rest in peace. And again, thoughts to the family and thoughts to all of his fans, and just horrible, unspeakable tragedy. And yet, you know, and you're right, Etta. You're right. By the way, well, welcome, Etta. Thanks for chiming in. Please subscribe, Etta. First thing after you absorb it and you realize it, you go, wow, it has a similar just vibe to Dale Earnhardt, just in the sense of, like I mentioned, I know they're part of a team and they're part of a certain racing group. You know, he's Childress Racing. I think didn't he run? Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he with Hendrick in the Truck Series or something? I don't know. But anyway, but it's an individual, right? It's one person. The fanship, you wear the gear, the 18, all that stuff. So it's one guy. And then now this guy has been taken away and he's gone. And, and it's much different than when it's a sports team and, as unspeakable as that is, you still have the rest of the team and so forth that can rally around and rally fans around. Here, it's just, you're not going to ever see him out there again. And I don't envy the person who's going to have to end it. It's a business. It's got to go forward. Somebody's got to jump in behind the wheel of that car, much like Kevin Harvick had to do. So it's just terrible. It's just terrible. Horrible way to end the week. Horrible way to head into Memorial Day weekend, which is a huge racing weekend. So anywho, any comments you want to make about that? We'd love to hear from you, and we completely understand how everybody's feeling about that. What's up, Tebow? Been a Kyle Busch fan forever. Unfortunately, he got the jab. Sad time. I was shocked. Yeah, and there's been so much tied into that with certain people. We'll find out. We will find out. Let's hope it's a completely honest report. I think there's so much concern today with nothing can be upfront, and that's one of the main reasons we're in the problems that we're in today. So yeah, good day, Leanne. Oh, Australia, Leanne, are you Australia? Leanne, if you subscribe, we already have 3 other Australian accounts that are still subscribed to the channel. Welcome to America. Welcome to Southwest Virginia, Southeastern United States. The Atlantic Southeastern. Is that a thing? I think I just made up a region. In geography classes going forward, they're now going to change it to Atlantic Southeastern. Yeah, everything they do, I think, will be focused now, on that, yeah. Because it is always a massive spectacle, NASCAR, the 600, which he was always, always competitive, 100%. What's up, Morris? Well, that's right. You did see Willie Nelson last night, 93 years old. Lily Miola from Hawaii was the opener. She was great too. How is Morris? How is Willie's voice quality? From everyone that thinks TGIF is a treat at the end of the week, you are wrong, because college football will be back soon on Saturdays, and that's what's really sweet. BDST is alive and online. Look, I think it's unbelievable. And I know a lot of people I hate it. I hate it when you see folks like that who want to entertain. Look, Willie Nelson doesn't need the money. It's who he is. And he may not sound like you remember or grew up enjoying, but the fact that Morris got to sit there and watch Willie Nelson, that's cool, man. They're older, so what? We're all going to be older. Who gives a damn, Yeah, Willie for the win. That's well said, Ed. Yeah. People talk about, well, you should have heard this band. Boy, they sounded terrible. Okay. Maybe they don't sound like they used to, but boy, they're out there trying, Kudos to them. At 93, still hitting the road. Willie sat the whole time, weak voice, but he can still play. Had several lead guitar. Okay, that's, what? Good for him, man. That's cool. That's really cool. I hope. Well, I'll probably. You can never assume you're going to be around at 93, especially given family lineage. But if somehow I am, and I decided to be jump on whatever technology we have at that point, which is 40 years away. If I decide to jump on and do one more show, I hope people would understand it's not going to be like it used to be. Oh, the crowd was helping him sing. Oh, that's cool. So see, they're just there appreciating it. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. An herbal American indeed, Thunder. Yep. Terrible. Just terrible. But we have to carry on as best we can. And that's what we do. By the way, I've now implemented the shorts are running on the channel as well after the show. And those yesterday alone, we had over 2,500 views of all the shorts. I'm usually posting 5 or 6 from different segments of each show. So check those out if you missed any of the show. I have to figure out the easiest way and where to post those if you miss some of the conversation and so forth. Yeah, it does, Etta. It does. I don't know if this country is capable of ever being together again. All right, cool. So, Mike, what we're going to do, Mike Ashley's going to join us a little early today. Just confirm, because like I said, Will was scheduled, and he texted earlier this morning. He woke up. He's not feeling well at all. Without too many details, he's having massive stomach pain. So, yeah, I got it, Morris. I read it a little subdued. It's not the jovial mantra this morning with the news of Kyle Busch. So yeah. Rain all weekend. No, Coach Omo will not be filling in on Monday. We're going to give Coach Omo the holiday off too. But, today it's a 90% chance of rain, 100% tomorrow, 85% on Monday, 85% on Sunday, 90% on Monday. Won't be a lot of lake activity this year on the Memorial Day weekend. Unless you're just, somebody who likes to be out in the rain, you might say, you know what? It's going to be wet anyway, so I might as well just get out there. There will be, the grill's under the porch canopy. So yeah, there'll be some grilling going on. There will be lots of grilling going on in this hacienda. Oh, there's Creed. He's soaking wet. Let me grab him real quick. He's looking at me like, "What are you doing?" Well, what are you doing, buddy? Tried to get you in last night, but no. Hang on. Come on. The warrior in the house. See, that's the plan right now. If the plans change, I'll let you know. Creed update. Here's your Creed update. There you go. There's your Creed update heading into Memorial Day weekend. Look at that guy. Imagine him being thrown out on the side of a road in a bag. There he is. Looks pretty comfortable on camera, doesn't he? Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Sorry. You asked for it, you got it. No, he doesn't. He does. See, that's how he gets them too, Prometheus. Because he has that look, right? See how sweet he just was? So when he's out there in the wild, the other critters are like, he's a pretty boy. What's he going to do to us? 10 minutes later, blood dripping out of his mouth, fur, squealing of animals. Yeah, that's right, Wayne. They've got Tech at 11 a.m. if they can get it in today in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament. So good luck to them. I think they're good to go now for the NCAA to grab an at-large spot. So that's good. That's good. Well, I was a fighter. Yeah. Now I'm more of a lover. That's true. Tadushi Trucks joining. Cool. Well, I think that's great. Well, congratulations, Morris. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Number 8 lives, Etta says. Please subscribe, Etta. Join us. Like our stuff. That's what they're looking for now. Everybody go through and like. Hey, Thunder. Yeah, I saw that, Thunder, this morning when I got up. I saw your message. Made a batch of smoked tuna dip last night. Dang. Well, I don't know if his is smoked tuna dip or is it. I don't remember. Y'all remind me. What is Mike's? I thought Mike's dip was crab. But maybe you're right. Maybe he did say it was tuna. Yeah, like I said, Thunder, you never question Mr. Burnham about food. Hey, Steven. Yeah, man, congratulations. Yellow Jackets alive. Tech's still alive. UVA actually, you knocked them out, didn't you, Steven? You beat UVA yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Highlanders got eliminated. Unfortunately, I talked about that. They're still struggling to get that tournament in, starting and stopping games. They're getting a lot of criticism, the Big South, and rightfully so. I mentioned this yesterday. I mean, what they did to Radford and Longwood 2 nights ago, I mean, somebody needs to answer that question. With the forecast that was on the way, and they still decided to try to start, and they got an inning in before the raining. Yeah. Yeah, I read the opening. I don't feel like being jovial. Does that make sense? I'm genuinely bummed about the Kyle Busch passing. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not the same vibe for me this morning. So, yeah. I wish, I need a morning cocktail, T-Bird. Why not? The weekend is here. I'm out of work today and Monday. Why not? Why not? 41 years old. Unbelievable. Yeah, I get it, Tebow. I know, man. I was basically done with it after Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon both moved on. I didn't really follow it during the Jimmy Johnson dominance era. Exactly, Prometheus. That's a great word. See, this is why I love chat. It's somber. I'm in a somber state over it all, and especially when you read and you see how happy he was, and you're reminded of your own mortality. All right. Regardless of what people try to say to criticize them, NASCAR drivers have to be in good shape. They're not just a bunch of out of shape yokels out there running around. No, they gotta be in a certain amount of physical condition. And this guy just had something develop, and it just took him just like that. Yeah, he is. He's one half of the Buffet Buddies. Absolutely. And when he tells you about it, it reminds me of Dan Callahan. And by the way, if you take the time today in the Patriot, I tried to pay homage. I've been very blessed, very fortunate. I've been able to be in the profession I wanted to be in for the last 35 years. I've been broadcasting high school, college games, some professional stuff since 35 years. I've been very blessed. So in today's Patriot article, I kind of go back to my roots of high school football in particular, and I highlighted a lot of the guys that I worked with over the years. And there is a Dan Callahan section to the piece, and Dan was one of those that just completely and utterly, whenever he had an idea about where to eat, you just followed along. You couldn't wait to get there. And he was always nails. But I hope you get a chance to read it. It's in today's Patriot. It's a great publication, not just because I'm part of it. Mike Williams has done a great job. It has a lot of the old fervor of the old every day you wake up, get the newspaper, right? Local paper. Patriot is awesome. And I really appreciate the opportunity, and I hope I add something to it. I never feel like I add enough to it. They have a lot of really good writers, a lot of really good columnists, Rodney, you being one of them. So, yeah. 4th and Sylvatus. The story he would tell me about the Saltville Shakers, man, I tell you what, there's so many things that I kind of referenced in the article. Some of the stories, many of the stories you can't really get into. Yeah, Tebow, I see that. Yeah, you either liked him or you loved him or hated him. I like the guy. I liked, like I said, it was honest. Sincerity goes a long way with me. Even if it comes across in a way you may not agree with, at least you go, you know what? At least that's who they are. There's way too much insincerity. There's a picture of he took just recently of his wife and his 2 children. Just it's out there, and it's going to put a huge cloud over the entire racing weekend. It is, and we'll get clarification here soon on the exact reason why. But bottom line is, you know what? He's gone. So, and that's really kind of the only thing right now that matters. We want to thank the NRB Super Bowl, 540-382-5525. They've served the community for 25 years. We will be having our bash there. I'll let Morris know here. We've got people that have agreed to show, so we're looking forward to that. Sundown Electric, one of the best reputations of any business around, superior craftsmanship, attention to detail, clear communication, and they're honest and lots of integrity with those folks. ReadySetFund.com, Bob Christ, BOBCRST11 @gmail. Reach out to Bob. Find out how your sports team, your group, church group, high school group, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Floyd County Softball raised $4,300 this year, surpassing what they needed last time in 5 days through that series of text messages. It's a great program. Fresh and Door Incorporated, residential commercial garage doors, thanks to Travis Williams. Sponsor of our text line, 391-0788. 38 years in business, man. Unbelievable. My official banking partner and the show's official banking partner, National Bank, member FDIC, thanks to Lara Ramsey and Company. I was by there yesterday. Just marveled. Every time I go in, I'm just greeted by so many people with smiles, and they make sure they come up to the window and say hi. They're a special group. And if you're having trouble with your bank or you're looking to change, I would really seriously consider that being your first stop. It'll be your last stop. Trust me. The attorney Ryan Pryor, BDST fan question of the week, and in a vote that was a lot closer than I thought. Hot dogs edged out nachos 36-30 in the final tally of your favorite in ballpark food, excluding tailgating. It was a good question from Wayne. I think Wayne's the one who threw that one out there. So hot dogs win. Hot dogs for the win. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Reach out to Charles Lee. We're presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment every day. And I know we had Stacy Compton on. We're going to try to get him on again next week to talk more about the Kyle Busch situation and get some insight there with him. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hunley, 155 Walters Drive. Reach out to him and go get your body fixed. He's terrific. He's got all the latest technology. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios here in Reiner, thanks to Jason Green and company. Business is really taking off. I like to think we play a small part in that, to help get it going. But they do a great job. Get a free quote today. And Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. They're located 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. All right, let's get caught up here. I was in Wilkesboro years ago to race. When I was leaving, Kyle Busch pulled up next to my car, told me to throw him my hat, and he signed it. Oh, that's cool, man. That's very, very cool. Very, very cool. Peace, Adjco. And Big Dog merch. That's right. Oh, yeah, the T-shirts. I don't show these enough. And every time I show them, I get inquiries about them. But then people don't follow up. But there you go. That's from Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel, 4377 Lee Highway. They're awesome. It's summertime. They're well made. And we still have all sizes up to double X remaining. We have small, medium, large, extra large, double X. No triple X's left. I didn't get but a handful of those. And no smalls, just medium. We're out of smalls too. Medium, large, extra large, double X is what's left. So there you go. Thanks for reminding me, Vic. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. No, Mountain Oysters did not make the poll. They did not. No, no worries, Morris. Hey, you didn't do nothing about you at all, man. I did read it, but not with the usual jovialness that I do. I think it's a tragic story, not only because, of who it was, but like I said, it just completely reminds you that, wow. You ever just sit back, and I do this a lot as you get older, you sit back and you really just go, wow, how in the world have I survived so long? Now, you think about all these things like this that pop up, especially young, healthy people now that are passing away. I know, Wayne, and at first, it was kind of awkward to have you in there chatting with me as I'm brushing my teeth. As I warm up my singing Torn out loud. Yeah, it goes back and forth between Torn and, of course, my just ravenous selection of Dave Matthews tunes. To show that there is still a little bit of hope for the Generation Zers. A couple of young people at work, I said, you ever heard Dave Matthews? And they were like, no. I played a little bit, and they were like, that's terrible. I said, thank you. Yes, it is. It is. Yes, Morris. As a matter of fact, we can't do the show without your opening. Just like we can't have the bash without you being part of it and helping organize it. I know. I gotta branch out, Wayne, but it's just so damn good. I know, and Tebow, it's the only way to go about it. You got to take advantage of it, and we don't. I get boggled down. I mean, as soon as you get down the road after the show and you get into work and then you get something presented to you, you start getting in that mode and you start thinking about this and worried about that. And I don't know why do we go to those links? Why do we even get so worried and torn up about things? Because at the end of the day, we really control nothing. We like to think we do. The arrogance of humanity is going to lead to the eventual complete downfall of humanity. And enjoy. It sounds easier. It sounds easy, but it's also easier said than done. Just appreciate everything. I appreciate this opportunity every day. Well, ants marching is the other one, T-Bird, that. Tech had Metallica concert. UVA had Dave Matthews. We're not the same. Yeah, there you go. If anything's going to swing the pendulum on which way you need to go in the state, if you're new to that rivalry, that should pretty much make your final decision. My wife has to get a rib removed, and the rest plated for support from years of scoliosis. Any prayers they much appreciate. Absolutely, Prometheus. Prayers up, brother. Everyone here will be behind you on that. Please give her our best. Absolutely. Morris, thanks. I try to be debonair. Oh, you're debonair. I met you in person. Remember, Morris? As a matter of fact, as I'm standing here, I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to be more debonair standing beside Morris. Magnanimous and gregarious. But please keep in mind, I am a Giles County farm boy. The attorney, Ryan Pry, I can see Rick as mere people in every direction. Yeah, we're with you, Prometheus. We're with you. We are with you. Mike Ashley's going to join us here in around 7. Again, Will Stewart sends his apologies. He said he was feeling really badly this morning. So he will be back next week. And I said, no worries. No worries. I get it. So right now the plan is to not do a show, but who the hell knows? I might decide over the weekend I'm going to do a show. Let's do it this way. Let's just say, we'll say that right now I'm leaning toward not doing one. But I might get bored. And I might just say, you know what? I'm off the rest of the day. So yeah, we'll say maybe. But right now I'm leaning toward not doing it. But we'll see. If I can get the by the way, I don't know if y'all can see this. This was this last month. I'm trying to show people. Look at this. We are up. Can y'all see that? 12.8 thousand views this month. Look at that. 12.8 thousand views. See there, potential sponsors of the program. You're not getting that if you do radio. Sorry. Yeah, I am torn. And whenever Wayne's in there, when I'm brushing and flossing, he knows that Torn is the song. And I will be living it over the next 2 days. I probably won't think about it seriously until Sunday, but still. So thank you, by the way. That's impressive, I think. You got nearly 13,000 views. Y'all see that? Y'all see that number? There you go. 24 new subscribers. So thank you. And all the people who are the premium folks, I still don't really know what the hell it means, but thank you for all the folks who are in green over here. Thank you for that. We announced the situation with Dwight. Right now, by the way, an update. People seem to like, let me find it, make sure I have it right here. Yeah, Victory from the Tunnel seems to be the early leader, the name of our show that's coming up this fall. VICK, Victory from the Tunnel. And we may or may not be working on getting another guy named Vic on that program when we started. You may not have heard of this other Vic. It's my understanding he used to be a pretty fair quarterback. So you scheduled your varsity blues. You know what? Yes. Yes. I skipped the Monday show and played pickleball instead, Vic says. I'm not going to call you a space cowboy. Maybe I will watch Varsity Blues. You know, sometimes it's a good movie. Yeah, why not? Why not? What would be the opposite of the Rick perfect weekend? To grill vegetables? To have a big grill out of nothing but vegetables and tofu? To have Dave Matthews just blaring on all the devices, your Alexa, your Siri? And then for exercise, hey, let's get on up to the pickleball courts. Yes, and if we do venture out, hey, everybody, my treat, let's all pile into Panera. I've already made the subsequent dental reservations for us. Let's go. Let's just live a little bit. Followed by me putting on my favorite unnecessary black football jersey of the team that might be blue and orange. What else? What else can we throw in there? Awesome. That's great. Yeah. Something too. That's why your mom's 84, Morris. Yeah. My mom was a prayer warrior too. Yeah. Means a lot. Means a lot. Vegetables, tofu with a side of Panera. Whew. Yeah, Wayne would be the first. Heck, Wayne's probably already organized it. Wayne's going to hit me up later and say, hey, here's the reservations for our Panera date. Tell the gang. I told y'all, didn't I, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of the young ladies in our office had Panera and they talked about how it wasn't very good. Yeah. So a tipsy BDST host could emerge sometime Monday, barbecue sauce on his chin, raising his drink and grumbling about D&B, vegetables, Panera, and bad movie sequels, and songs that don't rhyme. Yeah, they don't rhyme. Every rose has its thorn, doesn't rhyme. I just have to get the candles. Morris, give my best to Mom Emily. I feel like she's an extended part of the BDST family. I'm not, yeah, I don't know if I'd ever be tipsy this early. Yeah, I'm not really much of a morning alcohol consumer. Maybe if I were just unbelievably wealthy and I was, traveling the world, you might wake up somewhere in the morning and go, yeah, can I have a beer? I just brushed my teeth. I can have a beer, you know. But I do thank everybody for everything. I mean, it's the sponsors keep this thing going. Thanks to all of them. And I appreciate the ones that have let me know how much we've reached for them as well and help, and all of you here. We're heading into summer. Last summer, heading into the summer, I didn't have it wasn't even a mark on my mental and physical agenda to start the YouTube show heading into June. And then 2 months later, we started last August. It's hard to believe. Hard to believe. Yeah, no doubt. And I think people have finally caught on. Nothing used to really just kind of piss me off more than Happy Memorial Day. No. Just because you're off to honor all of the folks who made the ultimate sacrifice for me to sit here and have this banter on a daily basis. Absolutely. There's not a more important group in this nation than our veterans and the ones who are still serving. And I hope that's something that we never lose sight of, that and the appreciation of their sacrifice. Absolutely. Mom was an RN at Radford Hospital. My mom was an RN at lots of hospitals. Yep. I bet I did. I bet my mom knew your mom, Morris. I bet there's no doubt. No doubt. Yep. Absolutely. I don't know. I have not heard. You would think there'd be something on Monday. I don't know, Ryan. That's a good question. Really? You haven't been able to find any of the paths? That says it all right there. Why would there not? Yeah, other than like the fireworks where people head somewhere just so they can get drunk and watch pretty lights. Yeah, there needs to be a specific celebration for our veterans. I agree. All veterans, like on Monday, I wish there'd be all restaurants should just say nobody pays for anything. And maybe they already do that. Maybe a lot of them do that. How about taking the veteran discount up a notch and just say, you know what? Your money is no good here. Welcome and thank you. How many entrees do you want? That's perfectly fine. Yep. Oh, really? Well, that's awesome. Yeah, my mom, no, you're going to get me all. My mom was and will always be the best person I will have ever known. And most influential. And I've had a lot. My dad, Coach Hicks, Pops, my boxing trainer. God rest their souls, all of them. They're all gone. Pop's son just passed away a few years ago. So none of those folks are left for me to talk to, but my mom is at the top of the heap. Yep. And I think a lot of folks feel that way about their moms, whether they're still here or they've moved on to the next dimension. Yeah. So that's great. That's great to know, Morris. I'm sure they did. As a matter of fact, 100%. I'm sure they hung out, had lunch, talked. Nurses groups are pretty unique. That's a nice little club. Nice little club there. Mike will join us here soon. Mike's going to give a little extended duty today. We're making Mike. We're getting short on arms here as this baseball tournament weekend continues. So we need Mike Ashley to go a little longer today. He needs to reach deep down in his repertoire. Oh, DC's doing a real celebration. Good. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, good. They should. And anybody who wants to try to criticize that, and there will be. Oh, I'm sure there will be. Because, it's all about your politics, not about common sense. But yeah, absolutely. Oh, of course, Morris. Absolutely. There's nobody that deserves more respect. Yeah, aging and slowly losing those you surround your life with growing up. It's the hardest thing. You don't really think about yourself. You do. You look around. I get information about schoolmates who no longer have passed away, of the same age or around the same age. And you're just like, wow. That's why I revel in the opportunity to talk to Todd Grantham here on the show. And we've reconnected over the last, it's great. Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I think that's the sadness of getting older, is losing those influences around you who are older. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. 100%. And it's part of our ritual here, right? We're not guaranteed anything. We know that we only have a short amount of time. And you get the news with Kyle Busch and you're thinking, wow, it's just nonsensical, isn't it? Yeah, we got you and your wife, Prometheus. You can count on that. Absolutely. Please keep us updated. That's true. Thanks, Wayne. Yeah. I mean, that's why Big Dog Pop has to happen. I think nostalgia and the things that we talk about, it hits home with a lot of people. I mean, look at the things we talked about, whatever we talk about that's not sports related sometimes gets the most reaction. We're always going to be grounded in what we do sports wise. That's what the premise of the show surrounds itself around. But yeah. Just a reminder, by the way, speaking of folks to thank, I want to thank Steve and the Montgomery County Chamber. I will be here next Thursday. And you see the time, 8 to 9:30. So we're going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with the show that day. I don't know. I'll worry about that next week. But I'll be there with James Franklin. And we're going to be talking on stage together. And I'm going to say, hey, Coach, I'm Rick with Big Dog Sports Talk. And he's not going to have any idea. And then I'm going to say, hey, we'd love to have you on the show. He'll say no. And then we'll move on. But that's next Thursday. The Freedom 250 National Memorial Day Parade. Okay, awesome. On Monday. Constitution Avenue, 10 a.m. Beautiful. Yeah, we are. We are a family. We always have been. We are. We're not right. We are. We're all a little. But nonetheless, we are. Jen, by the way, should be back home from Vegas, so that'll be an interesting conversation in our final hour. I wonder if these still work. I was going to try this. I'm going to try this. See, this is when we're doing rehearsals together now here. This was the old hour 2 open. Let's see if I can see how this sounds.
Let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
If we die together. You can get it done. What's more, you gotta get it done.
It's a gleam, man.
There's a gleam.
There's Monty Schottenheimer
Let's
there.
get the gleam. All right, let's go.
Want a piece of that championship? Put it in here. Hey, guys, where else would you rather be?
Welcome in to Hour 2 of Big Dog Sports Talk with Rick.
Hey, there we go. So I found those, and then I found the third album.
It's the enemy over there. They're not your friends. You don't go over there and shake hands, smile, hug their neck.
Let's knock them on their backs, butt them in the mouth, knock their ass in the dirt. That's what we got to do.
We got to stop that buddy ball. Smash everybody in the mouth.
Hey, baby, we're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
Little white zombie.
You're in the Doghouse with Rick Watson and Big Dog Sports Talk on 105.3 The Bear.
Here we go.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
You know what that means? Do you? We're the underdog. We're mutts. My number one play is the power sweep.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
That's He-Man.
Ludicrous speed. Go!
There we go. All right. I'm going to get dinged all over the place for that.
Yes, this is the YouTube police. You did not have copyrighted permission to play the second half of that song, so you're in trouble.
Oh, my Lord. I look down here. Mike Ashley's in the green room. All I see is a bright light. Am I walking toward the light? Am I like on an alien ship right now? Oh, there we go. He turned it off. All right. So, Will Stewart, I hope you feel better, Will, if you're watching. Joining us now on the program a little early. Look at Mike. So, Mike, we're getting late in the baseball season. We're running out of arms in this tournament. We need you to give us a little bit more here today. Can you hear me?
I think. Can I? Hello?
Yeah, you look. Yeah, we got you.
Okay. All right. Bucky's here. Bucky's
yeah. Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah. I'm having trouble this morning. It's too early.
What happened?
Well, look. First of all, I've got light working. Now I've got the light set up where it shines on me so I can't see anything on my desk. Instead of on my desk, and then people complaining every week. So I got sick of that crap.
Well, you look great, though. You look just great. You look great.
Yeah, and I got the brand new computer that I've been typing my stuff on this week. And this morning I get up, and because all I have to do is touch it, and it opens up. But this morning, no. Your password is required to enable Touch ID. Well, if I knew what my damn password is, I could get into my new computer.
Isn't it something like Stallback 12? I mean, come on. Your password should be pretty simple to figure out, right?
You're pretty close, but that's what I thought it was. But apparently my daughter got me to change it. And now I have no idea what it is. This brand new high-dollar computer will never be used again because I can't get it.
So I almost nailed your password the first time. Stallback 12, exclamation point, $sign.
Well, it's much more tricky than that. I hope. All right. It just keeps shutting off. So I'm just shutting it down. I'll leave it alone. That's where the open mic segment is this week, though. So we're gonna have to wing that. And ironically, I was going to talk about the rain down in Asheville. But we won't get into that. Please. What happened at the tournament yesterday after Radford was bounced?
I don't know, but I've been ranting. All I know is they never should have started that game Tuesday night. They knew the forecast. It was going to be a deluge. And for some reason, they decided to run the two teams out there, Radford and Longwood. You burned the pitchers. It was dumb. They barely got an inning in, stopped the game, resume it the next day. It just – the whole tournament's just been a cluster, you know what. So –
Yes. Yeah. And baseball tournaments are just unwieldy by nature.
Yeah.
By absolute nature. Anyway, but it did make me think of reign in college baseball, and that's what we will talk about when we get to that. First, I should talk about one of my favorite experiences at the Big South tournament involving pitching, and that was UNC Asheville at Coastal Carolina one year. They had that kid Mark Rosenbaum, who was a sidearm guy, who actually beat us twice in one day. It was like softball. They just left him in. He was throwing so good, and the sidearm guy can toss a lot of innings, and so he beat us in the first game. They left him in. He got the win in the second game against us too down there in Asheville. Anyway, Mark Rosenbaum is on the mound at the Big South tournament. This is one year, I think, in the early 90s. And we're all up in the press box having a big time, because that's the thing. And Rick and I have rights to complain to this, because we're the guys with the crew and the people working that come in at like 8 in the morning and are there till whenever they finish that night, which could be like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's just the way we did it in the Big South, because we had that esprit de corps, that camaraderie with no NIL money and all that stuff. But anyway, we're there working, and all day they've been bringing food in and put it down the right field baseline, so you could walk down, when you had a break, and get whatever you wanted down there. It was pretty nice deal in that regard. And this Domino's delivery car pulls up, right? And if you've ever been to Coastal, when you're sitting in the press box facing the field, the gate is there to the right, and you can actually see it because you're sort of at an angle. And the Domino's person gets out, and we're kind of interested in what's going on. Oh, they ordered us pizza. That's great. Well, the Domino's person gets out of the car, and you see him talking to, it was Gina Marklin, the former women's basketball coach. They're working the gate, and you see the discussion briefly, and then she just points, and the Domino's guys walks into the stadium. So we're going, oh boy. He walks directly to the first base dugout where UNC Asheville is, and takes the pizza and passes it into the dugout.
Hey, why not?
Okay, so now there's several things at work here. First of all, who's going to pay for the pizza out of the dugout? I don't think the guys had their wallets or anything.
No.
So what happens was a UNCAA booster goes down and pays for the pizza. So whoever it was ordered for can have it. They're in the dugout. Oh, no. The assistant commissioner of the conference goes running down there and repays the guy and buys the pizza from him. And then it gets delivered to the press box. So now we're really celebrating. Anyway, turns out that somebody had ordered Mark Rosenbaum, who was pitching, a pizza during the middle of this game, because he had been
great.
Such a yes, and this was a mystery in the conference for years. Who ordered the pizza for Mark Rosenbaum at the Big South Conference tournament during the middle of the game?
Oh,
and it was maybe double-digit years later when I finally got to the bottom of it. I know one of the instigators was assistant baseball coach Matty Sutphin from Radford. He and some of the Davidson coaches were back at the hotel, and they just thought it'd be funny. And I guess the statute of limitations is up on all this, so
yeah, we're good now. Yeah,
I can get them in trouble. But I mean, just that whole sight of the pizza delivered to the the dugout, and everybody just the craziness that happens. Oh, NCAA rule 37.B.
Oh, I know,
you
right?
Can't, there was it was a lot of fun.
See, I love that. And the fact that they found somebody to play along and deliver it during the game, that makes it even better. That's cool. That's cool. See, baseball can do that, and they've done so much of that. I love that part of it. That's great.
But we've all been there late at night going, why are we starting this game? Why can't we finish this game? What is going on? And then the whole thing with the arms and everything for the pitchers. There ended up being some real heroes. That kid from Longwood that tossed came in yesterday, and I guess he had like a 7-8 inning save or something.
He did. He just kept going. He kept going. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I know.
And Trey Luty for Radford pitched well, and there was some but it just not enough arms after what happened the first day.
We know in 2017, our second tournament championship. I can't remember. Did you make the trip down for that one down in North Carolina? I don't remember. I saw you down there.
No, I have not been there to celebrate with the team when they've won a conference title, which, by the way, again, let me stress this. If Radford wins the Springfield championship, they've done something, because most of the other schools in our league are outdoors all year long.
All year.
That is not true in Radford, as I don't have to tell anybody in New River Valley.
we started I think it was the second game of the tournament. We had rain for 2 days, and they were already like, we started the second game at 12:07 a.m. They waived the midnight rule, but they didn't have any choice. It was either that or you're going to be there 2 extra days. And both coaches were like, Joe Rakuya said, no, let's play. I think we were playing Winthrop, and they were just like, let's go. And we got off the air. That's when we had a radio network for baseball. And we got off the air at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I've heard you talk about that. That is, did you get overtime for that?
No, I did not. No, not even an attaboy, which, that's pretty much normal. But anyway. So I was just talking about it, Mike, and, probably neither one of us follow NASCAR, but, to hear a 41-year-old like Kyle Busch, we don't know the exact details yet, man. It was just, wow, amazing, horrible news that came out yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, I've heard people that know about this sport, and I am not one of those people, generally speaking. But it's quite a closed community at all different levels of from the NASCAR, from all the ones we know to the truck driving series, which I know Kyle Busch competed in. But everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows about everybody, and it's not just the drivers and the crews and the people directly involved there. The writers are so close there, and the media are so close. It's really always sounded like such a great, unique experience to me. And to hear these guys talk about, the great respect for Kyle Busch at his craft, at what he did. He was, I heard McGee of Marty and McGee say that if you were down to 5 laps, what racer would you pick to finish and get the win? And he said that at all levels, people might pick Kyle Busch because he had that kind of respect from others as his skill and ability to bring it home. And then to know how young he is and his, the family, it just, your heart goes out. It's really something. And I just good wishes for everybody.
And you would have been great. I was just thinking about, that'd have been, if you could have spent like a year doing that or a season doing that, you'd been great.
I can't even change the oil in my car.
But I mean,
that was not gonna happen.
But you down there getting stuff out of the drivers that normal reporters would not have, that you would have been great at that.
Yeah. What's this here? What does this do in the engine there? What is that? Yeah, that would have been great.
Well, I don't mean
no.
It's funny with them, but
funny. It's funny. I ran into Joe DeShield a couple of weeks ago in Roanoke when I was down there. Yeah. Remember Joe?
I do remember Joe.
He used to report on everything. Actually, he's still there doing stuff. And
good.
And he said something that really made me happy. Way back when I saw those guys regular, Roy Stanley, Mike Stevens, Travis Wells, those guys were always covering us. And this goes back to Mike Stevens. I think he had sent one of the cameramen out that they were doing a story up at Radford, and I had just started the whole comedy thing. And the guy begged me to do my NASCAR bit so Mike Stevens could see it live because he'd seen me at the club. And so I did it. And Joe DeShield said he saw that tape at Channel 7 because they still showed it from time to time. Of course, the bit being that what you're saying about the media and everything. I said I didn't really even growing up where I did in Roanoke, where they teach you to count 1, 2, Earnhardt, 4, 5. It's a whole different thing down there. And but I never, when they're talking about sitting on the pole, and wow, that doesn't sound very comfortable. And then of course the thing to me was the interviews with the drivers always sound the same after the race. Well, I just like to thank our sponsors at the Old Slim Fast Tidy Bowl Tampax Thunderbird.
Right.
They just did a great job for me. The whole crew did a great job. We swapped a little sheet metal with Rusty coming around turn 3, and the boys in the crew got me back on the track in 17 seconds. And I just like to thank them, of course, all sponsors at the Slim Fast Tidy Bowl Tampax Thunderbird.
And they're switching hats as he's speaking, like putting 3 different hats on him.
And now that sport's all over. I was thinking we might talk NASCAR, so I was trying to remember, because now I got to watch the Lakers. I had that Bill Boga thing on their jersey, which, they're the Lakers. I watch them all the time. I have no idea what that meant. So I looked it up. It's a South Korean food company. So there you go, sponsoring the Lakers. Not that I'm a xenophobe or anything, but my gosh, isn't there somebody in LA that wanted to sponsor the Lakers?
That's true. You're in Los Angeles, really.
Bilboga or something like that. Why couldn't we have, Grauman's Chinese Theater or something? I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, that's true.
But that's where it's all headed. And Don Bowman, our marketing guy at Radford way back when, told me all this way back when. He said, you got to stop complaining about commercials because they pay for your sports. And I was like, okay. And now that it's all on streaming and we still pay for our sports and we've got that, I really can get crotchety about this stuff. So
tell me about it, man. There's 7 different streaming services you have to watch the NFL season this year.
That's a good stat.
It blows my mind.
I saw one the other day that 20 years ago, 96% of all NFL games were played in that Sunday to Monday window.
Yep.
Counting Sunday night too. And now it's down to 85%, which doesn't sound like it much, but there's a lot more games too.
Absolutely.
And it's just, does the NFL really want to be on every night of the week? Like they're sort of Wednesday night games are coming and
apparently.
Yeah. And again, we talk about this all the time for us old guys. It's kind of spoiled it because before it was so special. Last week we talked about Ted Turner and what he had done to get more on TV. But, it's just the event that was the game of the week is kind of gone because every game is the game of the week.
Yeah, I know. Well, I want to ask you about that because, you're a lifelong Cowboys fan and it was reported that people watch Cowboy games more than any other. They are the richest professional team franchise in the world, even talking some of the soccer franchises. The Dallas Cowboys, I think, were valued at what? I don't remember how many billions it was if they were to go on the market. What is it about that star and that team that continues to resonate between teams who are fans? And not to pile on, but you haven't won a Super Bowl since 94. But what is it about the Cowboy legacy, man? You talk about a brand in sports that does not go away, lovers or haters. And kudos to them.
Tex Schramm.
They're always going to be that team.
The things he did at the 60s. Let's start with one. Why in the world from the get-go have the Dallas Cowboys been in the Eastern Division? Why is that? That was so the Cowboys games would be shown
right.
And that with those teams and the bigger markets. So there was a plan right from the start. And Tex Schramm did more than that. Not only the Cowboys cheerleaders, which became iconic in the 70s, but also he's the one that made the white lines on the field bigger so they would show up better on TV. And that's just some of the stuff I know, because I'm not going to sit around and read about Tex Schramm all the time. Yeah. Tex Schramm, by the way, was the president and general manager of the Cowboys for a while. Then he hired Tom. He brought in Tom Landry and Gil Brandt and all that. And Tex actually goes back. He and Pete Rozelle were good buddies. And and then they just became a brand. I mean, what? I'm too close to this. I can't talk objectively about it. But, when I first saw the star on the helmet, before I even knew anything about them, I went, man, that's cool looking. I'd rank the Cowboys, the Colts at the time, the blue and white with the iconic, horseshoe.
The horseshoe, yep.
I thought the Kansas City Chiefs, I always thought their uniforms were brilliant too. And these are teams that pretty much have kept those things. Except Jerry wants to. We got to have the double star on the jerseys every now and then. Sell a few more of them, and and everybody's got to go to the black jersey. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see the Cowboys wear black.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, the fans wear black because Jerry hasn't got us the players.
They're in mourning. Yeah.
In fact, there's that. They pay so much for their own players. They stopped. Their free agent spending over the years has been just terrible the last few years. They really don't go out and get players. And they just haven't done a good job of that. And the Eagles they're run so brilliantly. I'm scared to death the Giants are going to be good. Shout out to Neil Leahy because they finally got a coach. And, Washington's got their poop together now instead of spilling it on the fans in the stadium like they did at the end of the Dan Snyder regime. So we'll see. I mean, the NFC East could be really, really tough
really
over the coming decade. And the Cowboys have done their part, but Roger Staubach to me is a big part of it. What could be more?
Captain America, man.
Yeah, a guy that served his military. How many athletes have done that? Served their military service, then come back to play. Roger was taking his breaks from the Vietnam War to go to Dallas Cowboys training camp to throw the football and have Tom Landry stop running so much.
Yeah, that's right.
Yell at him, right. But I don't know. And then he had the Staubach had 23 comebacks in the fourth quarter over a brief career. First of all, he only played 10 seasons.
Yeah,
and he was only a starter for like 7 of those. And when he retired because of the concussions, he at that time was the highest rated passer in NFL history based on the weird thing. I think he beat out Milt Plum. So I don't know if the ratings are what they should be. And that was when you actually could cover receivers. You could put your hands on them and throw them to the ground and stuff like that. And, so I have respect for Johnny Unitas, guys like that who played in that era and had to complete passes because I think it was a little tougher than it is now when you're just dissecting people with a laser,
Yeah.
like, oh, no, he breathed on that guy. It's a flag. It's 15 yards first down,
They were the rock stars of the league when they started winning again with Troy and Emmett and Jimmy John. That era that we've not seen. The Patriots may have their Super Bowls, but they never encapsulated the country and really the world like those Cowboy teams did. And I'm not sure anybody who's been good since then has ever been able to even think about.
Well, I came aboard. Yes, I came aboard at a time when the Cowboys were in a 20-year stretch where they made the playoffs 19 years, and that was with just one wild card for that time. So it was 20 years of playoffs. 19 and 20 years. The other thing people don't ever talk about, Green Bay Packers of the 60s, arguably the greatest dynasty ever, on several levels, but they beat the Cowboys in championships games twice by 4 points, or the Cowboys would have been the team. Could have been the team.
That's true. That's true.
The 70s, the Steelers, 2 4-point losses to the Steelers. So, you can say yes, those teams were better and won, but did they do it for 20 years? Were they 8 points away from being the team of 2 decades like the Cowboys were? I mean, and that's and now I got none of that. Now I got, oh my God, please just don't let the Eagles beat us by 40 again. Okay, please. So.
But the Steelers and Cowboys played off each other so well. They created that rivalry. One would not have existed without the other. The Steelers needed the Cowboys to make that rivalry, make them implanted as the team of the decade. And the Cowboys being there was the perfect opponent for them.
It made Borg and McEnroe.
Right.
It's that same thing. They brought out the best in each other, and the Cowboys pushed the Steelers to a higher level. And but people forget how good that defense was. You remember they beat the Vikings 16-6.
16,
and Terry Bradshaw couldn't do anything in that game. It was just their defense, and the Vikings got their touchdown, I think, on a blocked punt. Which, by the way, the Cowboys still are the only team never give up a touchdown in the Super Bowl. They 24-3 over the Dolphins. So, I still think, of course, I have to go back to 1971 to get my highlights now.
Well, it was a great era, but it's amazing how that team just keeps on keeping on. And I don't see it ever stopping. Dak has added a lot to it, I think, nuance as a quarterback. It's just going to keep going. That brand they're going to become more expensive every year.
Well, I get mad about it sometimes. What is Mike Greenberg talking about on his show every morning about the Cowboys, who are like 5 games out in the division, and they're still talking about, are they going to turn it around this week? Are they going to, is this the week? And everything they sell to us Cowboys fans so hard. And I can't think it's just that. I think other fans like to hear the problems they're having, too. They want to, they're just marketed that way. And please stop yelling at me in bars about it. It's not my fault. I didn't tell them to put this stuff on. I don't need that angst. As you can see, I'm still trying to figure out my password. Anyway, yeah, it's just I don't know. It's and here I am in closing in on June, and I'm drinking the Kool-Aid again. I'm thinking, DeMarvion Overshaw's knee is going to be fine. We're getting.
I
got Caleb Downs. He's going to be the greatest safety in the history of the game. And
Morris says, Mike, I am begging you to start a wordsmith class. I'll pay first matriculated first matriculated student. Call the class wordsmithing for a reason. You are a wordsmith. You are the wordsmith.
Yes, but I'm technologically challenged. That's obvious. I don't know why I didn't write this down. I just thought it was the same as my other one, and I keep typing it in, which is close to the one you said, and it just I'm not getting anywhere. we may soon test out the aerodynamics of this new.
Well, it's weird. New computers. Coach Elmo he got a brand new computer. He found out, he tried to be on the show with it. It sounded terrible. And I said, I think it's something internally. Sure enough, the hard drive was shot. Brought it brand new, and he had to get another one. So,
well, no, this is user error. But
okay.
I hate that it's overshadowed how I fixed my light problem here in the Bat Cave. Bat Cave, was that my password? Okay.
Bat Cave 12.
Yeah.
O'Corin 31.
Wow. You are stop saying this. You're gonna have hackers all over me.
You're gonna get all these messages from your credit card has been overused. Your bank account is.
I don't do much stuff online just because of this reason, because I'm such a babe in the woods, the cyber woods out there, that I just no, we're not doing this.
Try Goober number 1, Wayne says. Maybe that's what
there you go. I've been I got hacked at a gas station up here a few years ago. I didn't have enough gas to get home one night from Maryland, again, coming in about 1-2 in the morning after a game and filing a couple stories at Press Row there. And I stopped in Tyson's Corner, where why would you go down there and buy gas? It was about the price then here that it is now everywhere. And they had one of those things on the machine. I later found out on the gas distributing machine, the pump. That's the word I was looking for. Wordsmith my ass.
Boy, you're not ready for NASCAR, are you?
No. And so somebody bought some video games in Richmond, and fortunately I got out all that because it wasn't anything I did. But I just was amazed that somebody had slid a machine on there that skimmed, as they called it, your credit card and stuff. And of course, whenever I'm in a big airport, it seems like if I buy anything, I get scammed too. Take money to the airport, kids, so that doesn't happen to you, because they're out there looking for you. Or maybe they're looking for me. I'm a big target.
That's right. David Mabry says, Mike, do you still have Jim O'Brien nightmares from 1971?
Okay. Well, yeah, very good. That's the 71 Super Bowl, but the 70 season. And I was not on board yet. See, so no, but I've seen that picture, the picture of Mel Renfro jumping and the ball being kicked. And yes, kids, they used to kick the ball straight. They didn't soccer up to it, because we didn't like soccer back then. Soccer was, it's foreign. We're not going to do that here. We're not going to. In fact, if you look, I shouldn't say this. The beautiful Salem High School football stadium, beautiful Salem High football stadium, built in the 80s. They did not make that wide enough to actually play soccer on, because I ain't playing that damn game.
Good for them. And Jim O'Brien, if I'm not mistaken, wore number 80 as a kicker. He was a terrible kicker.
He did. He was a backup wide receiver. Lassie was his nickname. And Bob Lilly, of course, famously threw his helmet like 40 yards down the field. And that was you got to remember, after the Packers stuff, and then the title in the book I read about the Cowboys early on when I was becoming a fan, they called them the Cleveland Disasters, losing to them a couple years in the playoffs. And so much so that poor Don Meredith got booed out of town, and I really hate that about him. And then I saw all the same things with Tony Romo and all that. God, give the guy a break. It's he doesn't play defensive back or defensive line, and we can't stop anybody. And Tony gave us hope, so you shouldn't be so hard on the Dallas quarterbacks. And I've really been driven crazy. I run a message board on Facebook, by the way, for Cowboys fans, because why would I want to go have other people insult my team? I get that anywhere, anytime. So, and then when guys are piling on, I just I kind of go crazy. I'm gonna, I kind of I get those Mike Singletary eyes, and I want to go get them, get off our quarterbacks,
get off our quarterback. Wasn't that, didn't Chuck Halley got the MVP of that Super Bowl, did he not? And they lost the game?
Two interceptions among
so
all those turnovers. Yeah. Number 54 from West Virginia, Chuck Halley.
Yeah, he was the first defensive Super Bowl MVP. Yeah.
And then does anybody remember the crackback game with Washington a couple years later, 2 years later, when Lance Allworth crackbacked on Jack Pardee and took his knee out, and then
Bambi.
Yeah, I think it was Charlie Taylor cracked back on Chuck Halley and took his knee out, and that was a rivalry back then, boys. That was good. I've been watching some of that stuff. That NFL film stuff, that and dog videos come up all the time. So I get stuck watching NFL films from the early 70s. I'm a sucker, not just for the Cowboys. God, I love watching the other. I seem to be getting a lot of Eagles. I can tell you a lot about Pete Lisk now, and who was that safety, number 28, Bill Bradley, that led the league in interceptions a couple times for the Eagles. Had the big afro like I did, but I didn't have mine till later. But Bill Bradley was it Bill Bradley or Bob Bradley? It was a Bradley guy. But
Bill
anyway,
Bradley.
Yeah, he was an all-pro safety for the Eagles. And
oh no, that was Bob Bradley. Yeah, you're Bill Bradley. I'm thinking basketball. Yeah.
I just double B's. They also had Rick Rosovich, that guy that ate glass.
Yeah.
Read that on his football card when I was a kid. You don't forget that. The guy ate what? He ate glass.
He had the white guy afro at the time. Yeah,
he did. He just looked at me. Mel Tom. Let's see. Who else was on that defense? Well, then later Bill Berge, of course. They built the defense around him.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. So you think the Cowboys and the Redskins rivalry at the time, a lot of that was due to you think of the media used to play up on. I remember seeing the graphics. It was the Cowboys versus the Indians, right? And you're in the same division. You didn't have a geographical marriage or anything. But boy, that rivalry really, they used everything.
George Allen.
Yeah, George Allen and Tom Landry. The whole thing just developed sincerely. It wasn't forced. It just happened. It was really cool.
Well, George Allen came to town up here, and he really didn't like Tex Schramm. He knew all those things I was talking about, that there were some advantages the Cowboys had, including Thanksgiving scheduling and all that. But hey, anybody could have said, hey, we'll host Thanksgiving just like Detroit. We'll do it. Anybody could have had that. But Tex Schramm went, oh, we'll do that.
Absolutely.
On TV every year. So George Allen used that. Plus, he just used it as a tool with his players to say, because really, at that time, you had to get through Dallas to win the NFC East, and they did, and they turned things around. And he had all those veteran guys that bought into everything he said. But the rivalry, I don't know how many people know this story, that George Preston Marshall, the owner of the Redskins back, before Jack Kent Cooke and all that, back in the 60s, when the vote was coming up adding expansion teams, and Minnesota was coming in, and they were trying to get a team in Dallas because they'd had, the AFL team there had been pretty good, but they moved on to Kansas City. Anyway, George Preston Marshall did not want to relinquish the rights to that part of the country, because the Redskins were one of the southernmost NFL teams, because Atlanta Falcons hadn't come. The Miami Dolphins weren't around then.
Right.
So the Redskins were considered the Southern team.
Isn't that crazy?
In fact, they opened the "Hail to the Redskins," one of the most iconic fight songs. Well, in the NFL, definitely, but just overall,
no question.
It opened with Dixie. They played Dixie into that. That was part of the whole marching band thing they did. Dixie was a part of that. So it was definitely a Southern thing. Their games were on radio everywhere. So, I understand why he didn't want to do it. But Clint Murchison, the owner of the would-be owner of the Cowboys, they couldn't get them to change their vote until Clint Murchison purchased the rights to the song "Hail to the Redskins," and they could not play it anymore until they let the Cowboys come in the league. So that rivalry actually precedes everything we're talking about, because that was a pretty slick move.
That's cool. That goes,
Yeah, and
like
that
the
is a true.
Oranges. Yeah.
That's a true story. And then you go on to Harvey Martin throwing the funeral wreath into the locker room in '79, and there's just so much good stuff in this rivalry. Much great stuff.
I know,
and it's not the same anymore. It's
not.
The name change there really kind of. It's not. Remember the
ruined
Tom
it.
Landry American
It.
Express commercial where he was coming in, walked into the saloon with with the guys that you don't want to be surrounded by Redskins.
I know. Classic, man. I remember that. I do. I remember that vividly. Wayne's asking greatest cowboy ever. That's wow.
Oh, come on. Come on. It's Roger. Roger did that. Roger's why I'm here talking about it now.
He probably is the biggest.
I became enamored with him.
He is the face.
I do remember. Yes, I do. You remember the famous Phyllis George interview with Roger in circa
and women. Yeah.
What's that? And
when he said women,
right. He said, yes. I like women as much as Joe Namath. Like one woman and everything. So we just got home from church, and my mom's getting ready to serve up the country ham and biscuits, and I'm sitting there watching. I was like, Mom, here's my favorite player. And so naturally, the subject goes to sex. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? Come on.
Phyllis George wanted Roger. I mean, you could just see it. She was enamored by Roger Staubach. She was. I mean, they had a great connection there.
I know. And I wanted Phyllis George too. So she was up there on the list.
No, I know. And then Jane Kennedy. Ooh.
And Phyllis knew her football. And
she did.
Yeah.
She did a great job. She
married into a basketball guy, John Y. Brown, in the Kentucky Colonels. So
that's right. The Kentucky Colonels.
I remember driving into Kentucky on a road trip. I don't remember what road trip it was, but we stopped at the visitor center, and they had a life-size cutout of Phyllis George. It was all I could do not to steal that and try and get it in the trunk.
You got pictures of that.
She was with John Y. Brown too, but I think we took some pictures of me boxing out John Y. and me and Phyllis. I don't know where those pictures are now, but
so you driving down the road with a Phyllis George cutout strapped to the top of your car. Stand up, honey.
It was much more innocent than it sounds now. Now everything's
good stuff. Well, I guess can you find open mic? Can you get to your open mic?
I think I've got one here that I think you're gonna like some of this. I think it was the great baseball philosopher and troubadour Ebby Calvin Nuke Lelouch who said, "Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains." Smarter folks than I, not including Ebby Calvin, have waxed poetic on baseball for years. It's a microcosm of fate, foibles, and fastballs. And of course, all folks involved in college baseball are part-time meteorologists. We're dependent on the weather. And as I watched the Big South Conference tournament that first night and saw the Poobahs drop their heads as the skies opened at the tournament, I felt the team, and I felt for the team and the folks working there held hostage by Mother Nature. I thought back to my days at Radford when dark clouds to the west always foretold bad weather. Some days our coaches, also part-time meteorologists, would postpone early to save an opponent's travel budget. I like those days, getting that adult rarity of the equivalent of a snow day when I got off work. Not only did I alert local media as soon as possible with many, I also added that we would have a New River Valley Press Association meeting that afternoon at BT's, which was code for, hey, Mike's going to BT's early today. If we were already down at the park and by the river and it started raining, I'd be playing specific songs. I always played Who'll Stop the Rain, Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Rain King, Counting Crows, Bob Dylan's A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. And my favorite for the Devon Center was watching the river flow, because when it flooded down there, it would be always up to right field. My all-time baseball rain story, though, was at the 1991 Big South Tournament in Conway, South Carolina, at Coastal Carolina's old ballpark there, which was also a minor league facility for the Hurricanes down there. that season in 1991, it was fashionable for one player on each team they'd pick a game and he'd play every position. And that happened to Radford. We played VCU, and this is how memorable this is. The kid named Tag Montague played every position that day in the game. It started on the mound, and the thing I loved as a baseball stat geek was in the box score, Tag Montague had a wild pitch and a passed ball. I thought that was pretty good. Anyway, so when we arrived at tournament, a list went up in the open air press box there. All the different jobs we sports info scribes could perform in and around the games. Get the starting lineups, do PA, run the scoreboard, keep official score, write the game story, call in the scores, fax out the game story, sweep the press box, answer the phone. You get the idea. There was a lot of stuff going on, and we all sort of shared the duties. But one game, I tried to make sure I did a little bit of everything during part of the game so I could write it on the list and take the lead in the competition we were having. I was having a heck of a tournament atop the leaderboard, neck and neck with a grad student assistant from Winthrop, who also happened to be a grad assistant coach for the Eagles baseball program. He added to his list after a game, coach third base. As the sun drooped in the sky and it looked like a clinching asterisk would go by the GA's name, Mother Nature intervened. The skies opened with one of those Myrtle Beach thunder showers. And we all stepped back away from the open front of the press box, our backs literally to the wall, away from the driving rain coming in. Well, not all of us. I slid out the side door, ran down the steps, entered the field, and joined the guys rolling out the tarp. A roar went up from the press box. And when I finished, I added to my list, proving it ain't over until it's over. For me, sadly, this college baseball season is over, and I hope there are sunny skies ahead for our Highlanders. Those guys certainly deserve some.
It's good. Good stuff. Yeah. I love that. I love the nostalgia. There's nothing I love talking about the old NFL days more than anything, but there's nothing more nostalgic than talking about baseball. Right? It always fits that perfect like a glove every time.
And you kind of set me up with this talking about the delays and the games, because again, you're there at 9 a.m. till the things are over. We used to all do that down at the Big South tournament. All the SIDs wanted to pitch in and wanted to be there for as many games as they could. Now there's some of us started aging, not me. The other guys got married and stuff, and they would want to take their wives out to dinner, and so we rotated. So you didn't have to be there the whole time. And of course, your things changed when the teams, your team were involved. And anyway, well, I got another story about that, but I know you're pressed for time now.
No, that's all right. It's good. I just appreciate you going a little longer for us today, man. Look at you. You got us through the 6th inning, Mike. Let's go. Let's close it out for you now.
Let me go ice my tongue.
Yeah, that's right.
And call up my daughter, wake her up, and just get her to cuss at me for answering my password.
Right. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for getting up a little early. You made you bailed out Will Stewart. Will couldn't go. Will got up. He couldn't get his start in. He wasn't feeling right in his throwing motion, so he bailed. So thank you.
That's okay. That's okay. That happens. It happens to the best of us. I woke up a little dizzy this morning, dizzy Dean, but no, the change in weather seems to really affect me now. And my sciatica and my knee.
Sciatica.
I'm so old. Anyway, hey, Goober says, old Goober says, old man, the Rimshaw or whatever the guy's name, the old house, or I'm not gonna be. Who was the guy that owned the store there that was such a meanie till Christmas time? For the land's sakes. Anyway.
Yeah, we need to get into next week. We need to focus on top 5 Andy Griffith episodes that you love. That's one of my top 5. The Haunted House baseball episode is one of my top 5.
What was the man's name? Was it Crenshaw, something like that?
Yeah, it was the old Crenshaw place. Yeah.
Okay, but no, the guy that ran the store, that wanted to get in on the party at the jail.
Yeah, he was really mean. He was angry and mean, and and then he got all sweet. I don't remember. Yeah.
I'm gonna cry just thinking about that one. All right, everybody have a great weekend. Is the weather crappy down there too?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get rain That's 100% chance all weekend. Oh yeah, we're
yeah, Memorial Weekend, and I'm not going to the beach because, well, I wouldn't go to the beach anyway because it's crowded up there at these weekends. Those are weekends you actually avoid.
Correct.
There,
Correct.
and that's why I'm here in the basement with so much better lighting. But
and it looks great. No, it looks great.
Not enlightened about the computer. Gonna have
I
to.
understand.
This one's killing me. Anyway, everybody have a good weekend.
Well, hey to Goober. All right.
Hey to Goober.
Good stuff. Mike Ashley. Going a little longer for us today. Mike, look at that. He's not used to going 5 innings. Wow. He was able to reach deep down. Love. Good morning, Chris Lester. Yeah, I love talking about the old NFL, the NFL we grew up with. Ben Weaver. Mike. Ben Weaver. Thanks. David Mabry comes through. So next week, we got to talk more about Andy Griffith with Mike. Ben Weaver. He was just an angry soul, wasn't he? Look, we've already talked about how Andy blew it with his better half. You could not have picked a worse finishing partner for Andy Griffith than Helen Crump. All right, sorry, I'm getting an update here. All right. We want to thank the NRB Super Bowl. They've been around for 25 years. Book your lanes for Memorial Day weekend. You can't be outside, so you might as well go to the Super Bowl. Check out their wonderful renovations. See if they got any Memorial Day specials. Go in there and have some fun. 382-5525. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, located at 300 North Franklin Street. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. Parts for your windows, plumbing, front doors, back doors. Sundown Electric in Elliston, one of the best reputations of any business in the area. Thanks to the Smith brothers. They are working in different states, different regions of this state. 100% customer satisfaction. Think about that for a second. Who says that today? You know who says that? Sundown Electric. ReadySetFund.com, Bob Christ. Bob, CRST11 at Gmail. It's a series of text messages. It's simple. For your organization and your group to earn some money quickly. Within a week, you can have the money that you need. Professional Door Incorporated. That is Travis Williams up in Dublin, right across from the New River Community College. Commercial garage doors, residential garage doors, family owned and operated, 38 years. I love the family businesses, and I love the connection with family with many of our sponsors here, as are the National Bank, member FDIC, exclusive banking partner of this program. I feel like they're family. The refinancing I just went through, they were great, very personable. They felt like they were 100% on board with you and made it very easy. Thanks to all those folks at National Bank. The attorney Ryan Pry in Radford, 701 West Main Street, Trust and Estate Planning. Again, hot dogs, edged out, nachos. For best in ballpark food. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. That's Charles Lee and Company. Thanks to all of them for everything. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, the presenting sponsor of this program with Jonathan Sweet and Tim Miller. Could not think of anyone I'd want to be presented by more than the place I grew up and what they're doing to Pulaski County in all the great ways. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios, 540-200-8294. Get a free quote. They're all over the place getting quotes. Their place is exploding. It's awesome news. Very happy for them. And McClellan Chiropractic, I know Mark Hunley's practice is doing well. Go see him, 155 Walters Drive. He's got all the latest technology. It's not the same as it used to be going to a chiropractor. So go and enjoy and have a great time, because Mark will make it a great time and you'll feel better. Travis Williams started going to see Mark regularly from Professional Doors. Says he feels great. T-Bird says Ben Weaver's neighbors played that loud Dave Matthews music and threw the Panera wrappers onto his lawn. Concerned, those crazy neighbors. Why is it always concerned, by the way? What does concerned mean? Concern it. I got to look it up now. I'm going to look it up. We await Jen, the first lady of the program, to join us. Concern it is a classic American minced oath used to express frustration or exasperation without resorting to profanity. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an official announcement. I believe I am now going to adopt concern it on this program so I don't get in trouble with you.
Oh my. Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah. So when we start complaining about sports, when we start complaining about all these things going on that we don't like, college athletics, college football, the portal, the money, I'm just going to start throwing in concern it. Concern it. Like it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Dag Nabbit, yeah. All these things. Good stuff for Mike. The professional door text line. Texting some things that I can't use on the air. Thank you, though. Appreciate that. Joining us now on the program. Oh, there she is. There she is. All refreshed, all recovered, all at work, looking official underneath her great jazz sign. It's Jen, the Gamecock Girl. Welcome back to the world, young lady.
I'm not sure I'm ready to be back in this world. I need to go back a week ago and do a little more of that.
Compare. This is what always makes it worse. So where you are now in your office here on a Friday, think about where you were this time last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Probably had not gone to sleep yet.
I slept a few hours before we talked a little bit. Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much for the tour. People were going nuts about the tour, seeing Vegas and the surrounding. They were very excited. So thank you for that. That was cool. That was really
You're
cool.
welcome. I realized after I hung up with you that I had like the crow's nest hair going on and really wasn't at my prime time, we'll say. So thank you for being sweet about it and dealing with it.
And I've never been so happy to be one of your private Instagram message receivers as I were with some of the photos you were sending.
Secret feed. That's what I call it. The secret feed. Thank you for your appreciation.
Oh, you were appreciated.
Okay, good. That's why I do it. I like the appreciation.
Oh, I know you do. All right, so take us through it. Let's go. Give us the blow by blow here. You got there last Thursday, and then of course you were there when we got you on Friday morning. Take us through the after tour. How did your Friday go? Remember, you started out, you didn't have much energy, and then you started to get going a little bit when you started looking around the place. So, how did all that go? Tell us your rest of your weekend, please. We're just verklempt. We can't wait.
Well, the good news is during the tour, I was kind of getting energized. And after that, I didn't go back to sleep. I just pushed through. I was up for 22 hours, I think, after I talked to you. So that was a great day. That was the best day of the entire trip for all of us, I think. I did go back to Crazy Chickens. I lost $50 on that slot machine.
Oh, the slot machine.
Yeah, I thought the Gamecock vibes would carry me through on that, and it turned out not so much.
No.
But maybe it was channeling like baseball vibes. Maybe it's the wrong vibes. I don't know. But after that, the whole day was just in the spirit of Vegas, just fun, letting things unfold. and just doing whatever until we had the structured plans. And the structured plans kicked in around 1:00. We had rented a pool cabana. So we had our own little poolside party. And with that, you have a minimum you have to spend. So it's pretty much necessary to drink alcohol to meet the minimum. It's required.
Darn.
So we did that, and it was very hot. But being in the cabana means you have access to shade and cold water and all the amenities. So it makes it much nicer. So we spent the whole afternoon out at the pool, got the party cranked, took the pictures that you saw. Feeling no pain, feeling quite good. And then I have a friend who's a hairstylist there. So she fixed my hair for me to go out.
You're cheating on Holly?
No one else is allowed to like cut it and color it unless Holly and I discussed that first. It's a styling only. Styling is
okay.
So I did that. And I brought my friend, her name's Brittany, brought her a little gift basket of South Carolina made items and feel good about my annual connection with her like that.
Of course her name's Brittany, right? She has to be Brittany. Brittany, my Vegas hairstyler. Hi, Brittany.
She's great.
Hi, Britt.
She's fantastic. Really, really good at what she does. So after that, we went to Prime, which is the steakhouse at Bellagio. And we sat outside by the fountains. And so you can watch the fountains at sunset. Just no place better, really, to eat in Vegas. I mean, just amazing service, wonderful food, beautiful views. And then from there, we went to Pinky Ring. And I'm starting to know some of the management at Pinky Ring, which that's the Bruno Mars Club.
Okay.
And it is my favorite place now to watch music in Vegas.
No pictures, no phones, right?
You're not allowed to have pictures, not allowed to do any of that. And like if they see someone in there, they have little green laser pointers and they point them at the people and somebody from security goes in and swoops in and takes the person out. So that's kind of exciting when that happens. But because of that, I don't have any footage from it, but it is the best. So good. We got our a VIP table where you have bottle service and everything, but we always now the last 2 years get the best table in the whole place, which is closest to the band. And the band comes out and talks with us and we get to hang out with them because that's where they exit the stage, and their little environment where they hang out is very close to this table. So I love that because I get to talk with all the musicians, and they are the top tier musicians in Vegas. Like they're doing all the best gigs and playing with all the best people. Some of the horn players had played with Beyonce, PJ Morton. They're doing all the gigging. One of the trumpet players is from New Orleans, and he plays pretty frequently as a headliner in New Orleans. So just could not be better. We stayed, excuse me, some remnants of
Vegas.
But we stayed until the very end. Last set, closed the place down. I think it was 2 a.m., 1:32, I don't know. Just could not be better. That was the perfect Vegas day.
What did you get at the steakhouse? What did you get to eat?
Let me think about that.
It better not have been something lame.
I started with a delicious Manhattan.
Well, yeah, you said, you like their Manhattans.
Why can't I remember?
I mean, steak would be a great choice.
It would be a great choice. I did not have steak, and I am trying to remember why that was. Because I had steak the day before?
Okay, so?
Maybe? I don't know. I try to avoid back-to-back steak. You don't avoid that?
No. Matter of fact, I encourage it to anyone that I meet.
I think I had a salmon dish now that I am thinking about it. So, I ate steak out there, just not that night.
Okay. So what time did you leave the pool that you had reserved? Was this like in the afternoon, later afternoon or early evening, or how long were you guys?
I think we had the afternoon shift rented there. So I think we had it from lunchtime through 5 o'clock. And then we need to get ready because we got to put on our cocktail dresses and all that and look good for Bruno's crew. One kind of fun thing is when we checked in for Pinky Ring, the manager said, "You're going to really love this tonight." And he said all these things, and the servers kept saying things to us, and we realized that they were dropping hints that they thought Bruno Mars himself might be coming by. He does come by there occasionally and sit in with the band. And it seemed like everything was setting up that way. It was setting up differently than our previous visits, and there was more security, and there was more buzz in there. It was completely sold out, and I think something happened, and he could not come be at the club. And but the buzz was different, and it does happen sometimes. So now we feel like we've gotten the closest we've ever been to him actually showing up. So we feel even more inspired to go back and try to do it again because we really want to see him. But his brother plays with the band sometimes, but he was not playing this particular visit.
It's been a while. When's the last time he's released something? I don't even know. I don't keep up with.
He just released an album that's amazing. I think it's called The Romantics. Is that the name of it, or The Romantic or something? But that whole album is you've heard the lead off hits off of it. I mean, he's released some stuff.
Have I? You
have. You don't realize it, but you have. And it's really, really, really good. It's more.
Is it current music? Like, is it stuff released like recently? Because if that's the case, I don't know any of it.
Yes, you should listen to it. You will recognize it. I promise you. But he just released it, and it's got a little bit more of a Latin flair to it. And this is his first time as a Latin artist that he's really allowed it to the music to really have all the Latin type flavor of the whole album. And I really like it a lot. I've heard some stories that when he was first being signed by the record label, they didn't feel like he would sell as well. Like he didn't have the same vibes as like Ricky Martin or whatever. And they didn't want to build the Latin aspect. And now he's kind of popular enough that he can do whatever he wants. So he's letting that kind of shine through some of the music now. I definitely dig it. Oh, someone's right in the chat. Wayne wrote it's recent #1.
You know what his real name is?
I don't. Should I?
Peter Hernandez.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I would have gone with Bruno Mars too.
Well, I've heard that again, the record labels, all the management, they just didn't want him to pick out a name that sounded Hispanic. They wanted to position him differently. Like, I don't know if you remember
cool.
If I Had $1 Million or whatever the name of that song was, or hold on. What can I think of what that was? If I Were a Millionaire, whatever. It was his first like poppy song that came out.
He picked Bruno. This is cool. He's a big wrestling fan. He picked Bruno because Bruno Sammartino, the legendary wrestler in the 50s and 60s. And he thought his dad was a spitting image for Bruno Sammartino. So he picked Bruno after the wrestler. I like him better already.
Well, you check out the album. I'm giving you a thumbs up. You know, I'm very particular about my music. And that album, I put it on frequently at work. And I think it's really well done. It's a fun, easy to listen to album.
And he picked Mars because it was out of this world. So there you go. Bruno Mars. Not Peter Gene Hernandez. That would have changed the whole trajectory of his career.
I guess he got good advice from management.
Yeah, I like that.
But he's a real musician. And, I take that seriously. So.
Yeah, he's actually got talent. Correct.
He is. He's the best performer of anybody commercially successful I've ever seen. I saw him in Colombia. Holly did the hair of the person who ran the venue where he was performing. We got front row tickets, and it was still one of the best concerts I've ever seen. Maybe the best.
Wow, look at you. You have a little crush. I think this is not just you have a little crush on Bruno, on Peter, don't you?
Well, maybe a little bit. He's not my type really, but musically he's amazing.
You don't like 5'2" Latin men?
As a 5'8" woman who likes to wear heels, it's not like my first pick, but you know. I don't mind men shorter than I am. I kind of like that and dig that, or if they're my height, I don't have a problem with that. It's just he in general is not. It's just not my thing.
I bet if you threw him a Gamecock hat, he'd put it on and wear it during the song. I bet you he's that kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he just seems really like the kind of musician I would love to play with. I love that he always uses live horns. He doesn't do the synthesizer keyboard horns, which is an instant thumbs down for me.
Yeah,
like,
he's not using auto tune in the studio. Yes,
no,
correct.
and he's really big on writing arrangements with horns always, and really including them in his show and giving them solo time and space. And they were up front with him in the choreography. They're not all like tucked in the back under a spotlight, like they're a key part of the show.
So that was Friday. So gambling had to have hit on Saturday, right?
We didn't play craps this time because there was a big electronic music festival. EDC was there. Wow. And there were 500,000 people for that. And they were overtaking the tables, and the buy-in was 25 or 50, and a little too high.
Wow.
I'll play when it's 15 usually. I did visit the sports book, throw down a few bets with that. I did go back to Crazy Chickens another time. Lost more money, 25. So I didn't go hard on
lost more money.
The gambling part this time. Like a lot of it for me, it's hard because I'm there for my friends and to spend time with them. And if I want to gamble and they don't, that means I'm away from them for a while. And I try not to do that. Try to respect the dynamic of the trip.
Is that too many? Now, I'm not asking you to dish your group, but is that too many people to go with to Vegas, or is it better to have just one person? Because like you said, it's hard to keep so many different people engaged. You're always kind of wondering what they might be wanting to do and all that.
It's not hard with this crew because we're such close friends and we can find an agenda that pleases all. But you do have to be prepared to do some sacrificing. So for me, I sacrifice the gambling and the sports stuff because they don't want to do that. Everybody wants to do pool. Everybody wants to do the pinky ring. Everybody wants prime. We pick stuff that everyone's into, and it's about the time with them because they all live in your part of the world. And I don't get to see them that much. So if I'm traveling across the country to hang out with them, I want to hang out with them.
And then, of course, comes Sunday, the departure day, and it's when you leave a place like Vegas after you've had a great time, it's kind of always let's get back on the plane and head back.
It's tough, and we had travel problems.
No way. You mean at the current airports? Come on.
But we had no problems on the way there. So if I had to pick one, I would pick it this way. But it was very gusty and kind of stormy when we left, and all the flights were. Sorry, I've still got these remnants. All the flights are canceled or delayed, and we were significantly delayed by, I think we ended up leaving at 2 a.m. ish. And one of our friends was on a different itinerary for travel, and she got stranded up in Chicago, and it took her even longer to get back. So that part was not great. On the upside, though, on Sunday, we planned time at the spa to help us return to reality. And I had an 80-minute massage, and that was really nice.
Wow, 80 minutes.
Yeah, it was great.
I bet so. Wow.
Really nice. The unfortunate thing is, like, pretty much I get back, I'm still like dealing with this, and I have my concert Sunday. So we were having rehearsals for that, for the Memorial Day themed concert that I'm performing in on Sunday. And I was not really quite ready to make that transition back into productivity. So that was a little bit.
So are you grounded for a while? Are you heading out again anytime soon? Are you?
I'm thinking about coming up there next week. So if I do, I'll let you know. I have a very good friend. I've been working with her sons on the college process. She has 2 twin sons graduating from Blacksburg, and I'm been working with them, and so she's invited me to their graduation festivities. So I might do that. And then we have a new Gamecock signee who's from Salem, and I may go officially do like a little ceremony awards type thing for him to welcome him to USC. He's a sax player as well. He's also going to be in the Honors College. So his name is Nick Fraticelli. And so I might go do a little something from him if I come up. I got to figure it out. But I'll let you know if I do.
Well, I hope you do. I hope you do.
Do you want me to come over to do the show in person with you? Do you have room for guests there?
If you bring the saxophone.
You don't want me to come over otherwise?
Well, we'll talk after the show.
Okay.
But speaking of which, we got to work out because people they're not going to let you get away with not playing the sax at some point. So we got to work out a rehearsal time. We got to see how the sound goes. We got to knock this out. The peeps have earned it.
Well, I will tell you, I will not have my sax because I'm flying up there. And the reason, if I come up, the reason is because I'm supposed to go to see Holly the following weekend. So I would fly from Roanoke to Orlando.
I got you.
And everything. So there would be no sax for that. But yes to the rehearsal and my sound control concerns being addressed.
Okay. Because I trust me, at this point, people are not going to criticize you or in any way, shape, or form judge you on how it comes across,
Well, some people will judge me. This is my job.
Oh, they're judging you now, young lady. You've broken your promise to them.
I don't want to sound crappy and have it live on the YouTube forever.
On the YouTube? Did you just
I
say
don't
on
want
it? Hey, do you do that show on the YouTube?
I heard you, JJ. You sounded like trash. I don't want that.
Do what?
JJ, you sound like trash. I don't want to hear that.
We waited for that for a long time, boy. She's not good. That didn't sound good at all. No, I don't think you're gonna have to worry about that.
I don't want that.
No,
the musicians were always very concerned about sound quality because that can really be a big game changer.
I understand, and I appreciate the fact you're such a perfectionist. It's like this. I had to make sure I had the right stuff bought to make it sound good. So I get it.
Like if you sounded like all raspy like all the time and the sound quality was bad, you wouldn't enjoy that.
I thought you liked it when I did the raspy voice.
I like it when you do the little nerdy raspy voice, the one that's like, "Hey, Jen," that one. The creepy, nerdy, raspy.
Yeah.
The guy who's living in the basement.
Oh yeah. She likes that one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I like it when you bring that voice.
And I saw your wager. You wagered on your Gamecock. So kudos to you.
I did.
Right? Tell us the odds. Tell us how it's going to turn out. This is cool. This was cool.
Oh gosh.
You put 50 down.
Over. I did the over. We're at 6.5 now. So I thought, well, I'll give that a shot. And the odds on that, that's not a big payoff if we get it. I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry, I don't have all the stats up. Do you have the stuff I sent you?
$50.
Oh, I got all the Heisman. I did 50 on Lenoris to win the Heisman.
That's the one you showed me. So you did okay. So you sent me 50 on Lenoris winning the Heisman. You would pay out about $1,200.
Yeah, that one is the big payday. If that happens, I think he could do it. Will he do it? I don't know, but he could do it if he plays like he did 2 years ago. If our O-line is much stronger, which I think it will be.
Morris says, just hit 3 of the 4 notes. We'll be happy. Trust us. And you'll get a 5-star review.
Oh, y'all Y'all are being kind, but I'm telling you, like, things live online and they have a way of haunting you. I don't want to be killed in a car accident down here, and then they like find that clip and put it on TV, like, oh, the assistant USC died, and here's what we have left to remember. I don't want to be remembered.
Don't say things like that. Don't say it's not going to happen.
You gotta be thinking of these things. This is our legacy now. These are the things that people will dredge up.
We'll be gone. The way I look at it, people are going to choose your legacy one way or the other. If I'm not here, I really don't care. They can say what they want. They can think what they want. Guess what? Because I'm gone. I'm dead. Who cares?
Well, I have thought a lot about ghosts. I don't know why ghosts are portrayed like, why are they always like scary and doing that woo thing? Like, I would definitely go over and make sure we win some games at the Williams-Brice. I'd push the ball over the goal line. I'm not going to be like haunting people. Why would you waste your energy and time?
Haunting people? I guess because you're bitter that you're no longer here in the physical. You don't like being in that realm, so you kind of take it out on the people that are still living. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Better things to do as a ghost. If you have that power, better things to use it for.
Everybody would know you if you were the ghost because you'd be saying, "Go Cox!"
Right? That would be way more fun. Why does it have to be in a creepy voice?
I don't know. I think, you know why? Because Scooby-Doo. We all grew up on Scooby-Doo, and every time they went up against one of those creepy, people impersonating a ghost or a monster, they always had a weird voice. So that's what it was.
Casper's kind of something different, but he's like kind of pudgy looking and soft and cuddly.
Who?
Casper?
Casper? Yeah.
Yeah. But
well, he's not ribbed out. You like that about Casper?
I do. That's what I mean. Right? I mean, he would probably be snuggly.
Oh yeah,
he's a kind of ghost. He
didn't have a creepy voice. Yeah,
and he's not doing creepy things or scaring people or.
No.
I mean, would you spoon Casper?
Do what?
Would you spoon Casper the ghost?
Would I spoon him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably not. Probably not.
Why would
now,
you?
It'd be a different story if you were, ghosting around. Yeah, then that'd be a definite yes.
But you would spoon my ghost version?
Yes, whatever version of you. Yes.
Okay.
All versions.
Okay.
But is Casper? Wait a minute, you're right. Is Casper the only friendly ghost? Because he is Casper, the friendly ghost.
And why was he billed as being friendly? Like, what happened to him that made him be like, you know what? I'm not going to choose this path of scaring people and being all gaunt and creepy that way.
He's soft. He's like people today.
He's got some juiciness. He probably eats some treats and has a good time. And he would eat steak 2 nights in a row and not care.
Maybe, or he might be the guy. I don't know, Jen. Let me get out the scales. You've got too much food here.
That's not friendly.
Casper, you're a toolbox. Who knew?
I mean, I think he's pleasantly juicy, and that contributes to his friendly nature. But
pleasantly juicy.
I don't know.
Casper was a wuss, T-Bird says. Scooby-Doo set the standard. He did, yeah. Scooby-Doo. Those were well done. Those old Scooby-Doos. They used to kind of creep you out a little bit when you were little watching those.
Why do people get so skinny and bony in ghost form? What happened?
Because they're skeletons, I guess.
But they do have some like skin stretched over the skeleton.
I guess, yeah. But we don't know because they have the sheet on.
Shredded clothes that are like real ripped up. Why?
Well, they're wearing a sheet. We don't really know. You're right. I mean, when they show them, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. That's always been the portrayal, though.
I mean, I've never seen a ghost, but I
no.
don't know.
What about all this alien reveal stuff they're getting ready to release, apparently, coming from the government? Things that they've admitted that they've been suppressing.
Well, I have a problem with the way aliens are portrayed, too, because they're usually kind of like related to humans. They have 2 eyes and like a little nose and mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think they're creatively portrayed either. And I think that's not very imaginative to think they're just going to look like us but be green or have smoother skin.
Well, we may find out sooner than later, apparently. So this might be interesting.
I think they would be much more advanced than that. Maybe not even have a physical form.
Yeah.
Because that would be more efficient for traveling and stuff if you didn't have a body to lug around.
Very true. Very true.
I don't know. I just don't think it's very creative when you make them look like humans and then they're green.
Well, I guess it's because it's all we have to go on. But a lot of people don't. In movies and stuff, aliens look like all sorts of different. I mean, look at George Lucas, what he did with the aliens in Star Wars. I mean, that's cool. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's
better that, like, when they just make it more blobby, too. Like,
more blobby.
I don't know. It's just disappointing me. It just doesn't seem very creative.
Yeah, I understand.
Like,
you got any Memorial Day weekend plans? It's going to rain every day here for the next 4 days. So
I was trying to remember, is there a parade or something in that area?
There won't be now. I mean, it's like, this isn't like, will it rain? This is torrential downpours to tomorrow, later today, tomorrow, all day Sunday into Monday. So,
well, is there normally a parade? I was trying to remember if I did that growing up.
There's always lots of fireworks. I don't know about parade.
Okay. I don't think so, because the schools are out. It would be difficult to get the bands together and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I am playing, speaking of Memorial Day, I'm playing in a Memorial Day themed concert on Sunday.
Oh, that's great. More strangers, folks. Hey, guy. Hey, peeps. Guess what? More strangers get to hear her. Go ahead.
Well, come to the concert. All of you are invited, or you can live stream it. I shared the link earlier in the chat. You can check on the live stream. It's Sunday at 4 p.m. I did.
Where?
I gave it to Ryan. Was asking about what to do for the Memorial Day, and I suggested that because we're playing a lot of special compositions to honor fallen military.
I don't see it in here. I don't see you in chat anywhere.
Okay. Well, I'll send it to you. Maybe you can put it on the social medias.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Medias, and then you can share.
By the way, do you have the TikTok?
I don't. I checked on my phone when it was all affiliated with the Chinese government.
People tell me I should do a TikTok, and I have no idea.
What's the status though? Isn't TikTok like all up in China? I don't know. I don't feel it's
something. Yeah, something. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're glad you're back. Hopefully you'll be able to come into town, and I'm glad you had a great time. If anybody deserves a great time in Vegas, it's you, my dear. So I'm glad.
Thank you. I had a great time. Returning to reality has not been great.
No.
But, I'll come up with another fun thing to do soon. I'll be done with the coughing and all that, I hope, shortly.
I hope. For that. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And positive thought for the weekend, Vic. I'll just be thinking about the private pictures I got from Jen's trip. There's my positive thought for the weekend.
My positive thought for the weekend is about the concert Sunday. I hope that we perform well and honor our military the way they should be honored.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be a good hour concert, and we've been working hard for that. So I will send the link. And if anyone wants to stop in and listen for a little bit while you're grilling hot dogs or whatever you're doing, I guess, well, maybe not in the rain. I don't know.
No, we'll still grill. Nothing stops the creation of fine cured meats. No, we're going to be good there.
Okay. Well, I would love you to stop in and listen for a little bit. You don't have to hear the whole thing. I get it, but maybe a little bit.
Okay. All right. We'll do it. Yeah. Put the link in and let me know, or send it to me, and I'll make sure it gets posted. So.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, have a good weekend, dear. Stay safe.
Thank you. Love
All
you.
Right. Love you. Be good. There you go. Jenny Gamecock girl at work, but hey, she was still bringing us smiles. Good stuff. Glad she got back from Vegas. Glad she had a great time in Vegas. That's awesome. And appreciate everybody today. Chat was great. Thank you, as always. I introduced my grandkids to Scooby-Doo. Yeah, it's got to be the original Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Before Scrappy came in. Scrappy is maybe the worst cartoon character ever added to a show that didn't need to be added. You've jumped the shark in TV shows when they bring little kids into it because they're out of ideas, because they have to create more storylines around them. And it's the same thing in cartoons. We didn't need a Scrappy-Doo. All I needed was Shaggy and Scooby, Casey Kasem, the voice of Shaggy, eating everything in sight, getting in all these situations. And I needed Fred and Thelma when they pulled the mask off of the guy at the end. And I'd have gotten away with it, too, had it not been for those meddling kids. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. And so Monday, TBD for Memorial Day. If not, I hope everybody has a happy and time with their family. If you have some time off, eat well, and never forget what Memorial Day weekend is about. Again, it's a Memorial Day. All the folks who have sacrificed their lives for us, we can come on here and have fun for 2.5 hours every morning. And that's what it's all about. Celebrate the entire weekend for our veterans and the ones who have fallen. And not just on Monday, but the entire weekend. But I hope everybody stays safe. Thanks to Mike. Thanks to Jen. Will, I hope you start feeling better. And rest in peace, Kyle Busch. And Prometheus, prayers up for you and your wife. Everybody take care. Have a great weekend. Thank you. You're the best. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel. And look for the shorts again for today's show on the channel a little bit later on. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Morris, thank you. Thank everybody. And we'll see you on Monday.